and of the music and the culture. That's I never see one single African that cannot sing and cannot dance. And I think that's the wonderful stuff you should show.
Hey, welcome to Destination 256. You go to destination for all things tourism in Uganda. I'm Zingozal, your host, and yet again on another special episode dedicated to the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. And on this episode, we have one gentleman born in Switzerland, but he is living in Brazil. He is a hosted buyer. We are hosting him here. He's a buyer and we are hosting him here. A hosted buyer is a person who brings us business. We source them from the source markets, our source markets as Uganda, and we bring them here, we familiarize them with our products, and they go see, they move around, they see the gorillas, they see the people, they experience. And when they go back to their countries, they sell Destination Uganda. And you're most welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Please introduce yourself and tell us about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Rolf. I'm photographer.
Mm.
I started with photography about 35 years ago. Started with fashion photography, and then I do a lot of e-commerce. And since 2009, since my father died, I was more free to travel. So I have been to about 31 countries and 11 African countries, and I'm very in love with this continent. And I'm of the generation from USA for Africa. You know the song,
Yes.
We Are the World.
We are the world, yes.
And I think it's very interesting because a lot of people, they still have preconception about Africa. They think, some of them, they think about disease, they think about poorness and stuff like this, and they didn't catch up how much beautiful stuff it has. And each travel that I did, I try to show the beautiful things that are here, to bring more people to this beautiful continent. And I don't like to, because the poor things and the bad things, they sell by themselves. But and people are, I think they need to see beautiful things and the animals and stuff like this. So I climbed 4-time Kili. That was my passion too. And actually that's the 4th time in Uganda. I came.
This is your 4th time in Uganda. Yeah. Oh, now that means you have experience enough to sell this country because you've been here.
Yes.
Quite like more than 3
yes,
times.
because it's I got very lucky with the first. Wildlife is always a risk. You never know what you're gonna expect. So the first time I got a wonderful shot with gorillas. I went back, but the other time we were in a very steam area, so I didn't get so good picture like the last time. But in compensation, I had wonderful picture in the Queen Elizabeth Park, and I think we have a very huge waterfall in one of the biggest in the world in Brazil. It's called the Iguazu Falls. But when I saw the Murchison Falls, it's so impressive because it's small and so powerful.
That narrow gorge, yeah.
Yeah, and and you can see how strong it is because of the bar of the crocs. Because they are just waiting everything that falls in the Murchison Falls, so they just have to snack there and then waiting for the and
sorry.
And this trip was very different because I made a lot of contacts with a beautiful chat, and you open your mind. It's so good to have so many interaction from different countries, even, and from Uganda, a lot of people. So you can give a very good. I have a very good impression of this event. It's amazing. The organization was very good, and the festival today is so wonderful.
It's giving you the vibe of our nightlife.
Yeah, and of the music and the culture. That's I never see one single African that cannot sing and cannot dance. And I think that's the wonderful stuff you should show. People are so friendly. So if more people come here, I think the idea that they make, the preconception that they have about Africa will disappear. And you have a lot of one thing that I like very much. The children are still children. You know, I'm living in Rio de Janeiro. It's a big city, and you see the children all the time with the smartphone. They don't play anymore. And here, that's one thing that I like very much. And people are interacting so much, and
they're not taken up by the new media, the telephones, and all that.
It's a mix. Of course, you need the new media, like you are doing this media, but you have still the old-fashioned way to deal with people.
The traditional way of the
and
African
think
traditional way.
that is, you know, I think there will be a pushback with too much digital stuff, because people are very, I think they feel they want more interaction, they want more contact, direct contact, and they don't want to talk with people that looking at the cell phone. This is when, and here in Africa it's amazing. I have so many wonderful chats and so good conversation, and POATE, I think it's a place that brings a lot of people together.
Yeah, it is our signature event in the tourism sector. It really brings everyone across Uganda together to see
and
how to sell.
In other countries too. So you unite the world.
Actually, this POATE, as if it has been kind of different. We've had a lot of other countries. We've had I've seen Kenya, Tanzania, Zanzibar. We've seen South Africans.
There were people from Iran, from
Iran, so
from India.
I've seen quite a lot of people. It was a mix.
Yes.
And I think that drives back to when you are talking about let's say Destination Africa in general, with all this art you create in photography.
Yes.
What is the perception people have and get after seeing all that you share?
They have to envy you to come. I think that's the stuff. They understand that Africa is very different. They understand that Africa is not a continent. It's a lot of different countries. And that is one thing. You know, for example, if somebody goes to Europe, they don't say, I go to Europe. I go to Germany, I go to Switzerland, I go to Norwich.
Exactly.
And people ask me, I know you have been so many times to Africa. I want to know Africa, and say, but what you want to see? And say, Africa, but what? Wildlife, culture. For example, it was funny. I was in Zambia in the final of the year, and I met a couple from South Africa, and they told me, we wanted to know Africa. And I said, but you are from South Africa.
Exactly.
But that was exactly my first impression when I arrived in South Africa. It's too Western. It's not. It don't gives you the African culture. So when you go inside other countries, and I don't know the cost of Africa, and from the North Africa I only know Egypt, but so I ask people what you're going to see. For example, Ethiopia is, for me, it's a wonderful place, so rich of culture. And if you want to see animals, you have Uganda, the gorillas. You have in Kenya, Tanzania, Botswana, for example. In Namibia, you have this beautiful landscape with the red dunes. And so I asking people, what you want to see? You want to see animals? What is your expectation? And sometimes, but it's not all the same. I say, no, there's 55 or 56 countries.
Around 55, around 55, 54.
So it's complete different. And even the people, for example, if you look, people from Ethiopia, they are very different than people from for example, Maasai area, Uganda. So it's very different. So I can explain to people, I can say them, look, you must tell what you want to see, and then choose a country, choose the first one. But so that's a good way to explain to them that Africa is not a continent, that's
as a whole.
yeah, and that is, I think it's very important, because when you have this preconception, it's always bad. So I'm very happy to show people the animals, the different culture pictures, the landscapes. They are very unique. For example, in Uganda, wherever you go, it's green, and people have the idea that every place you go in Africa, it's very hot.
That's the perception people have.
Yeah, because and for example, when I was the first time when I came to Africa, I was sitting on the airport of Nairobi. That was 15 years ago, and I saw there was a flight to Addis Ababa. I said, Addis Ababa, what's this? And I saw people, they mostly had paper, this they don't have bags like luggage. They have towels with they bring the stuff and paper how you say, to carry, and
they carry them. They tie the
in
towels
boxes, in paper boxes, and stuff like this.
Mm.
I say, wow, that must be an amazing culture. I want to know. And then I researched. I saw that there is one of the most active volcanoes. So I went there, and when I left Brazil, people told me, but what you gonna do in Ethiopia? There's only starving children. I said, that's why I'm going to Ethiopia. Because I want to bring back a different Ethiopia. So you can see that your preconception are completely wrong. Of course, in Brazil, I mean, we have slums, we have very poor areas. So poor areas are everywhere. You have poor areas in Africa. But one thing that I think it's very good, where you have a vein of tourism, it means people have opportunities. They have work. And that was always my goal, to help Africa to develop, to show the beautiful people and the beautiful landscape, the beautiful animals, so that more people felt the envy to come here. So I think that is one of the best thing I could do, and a lot of people got interested to come here.
You said you loved every bit of finding every person in Uganda that can sing and dance.
Yes.
Where did you see that?
In every place you go. Every place you go. You go to karaoke.
Karaoke, yes.
When you go in a karaoke in Brazil, it's horrible. They sing so badly. Here, you can go even to. It's like a show. It's like a show here. Everybody can sing. It's beautiful. And the karaoke in Brazil, sometimes they say, "Oh no, you have to
let him get up."
Yeah, and the dancing. I think it's in the blood, and it's in the culture. And one thing I like very much too. It's also colorful. The clothes are so colorful. Every place you go, and that's why I really felt in love for Africa.
When you look at Uganda as a country, what is that unique selling point that you carry along now, like from POATE, that you're going back to Brazil? What from the farm trip? You went
I will go tomorrow.
Oh, you're going to the farm
I will go back to Murchison Falls.
Oh, you're going back to the Murchison Falls.
Yeah.
We have actually been talking about Murchison Falls. There is a lodge that side. Where are you going to sleep?
I don't know. Because, when I'm on a trip, I don't create expectations. So when do I need to wake up? 6:30 on the reception. And then I got to inspire, because if you plan too much, you lose you got not so much inspired, because sometimes you create expectations and then you got disappointed. So actually happiness has a formula. Happiness equal reality less expectation. So if you don't have expectation. Each reality can make you happy. For example, you expect a lot of water in the Merchant Falls, so you go. Maybe it's not so much water, then you will be disappointed. If you don't make any
expectations,
it will be nice the same way.
Exactly. That makes sense.
And one thing that I take with me from POATE is the hospitality. This wonderful resort. You go to sleep, there's a concert with frogs. You wake up in the morning, there's a concert with birds. You have to in the morning I had to close the door because there was some thieves around.
Monkeys.
The monkeys, yeah. So they are just looking to grab them. Yeah. You have always to close that. And the hospitality, these wonderful days, this opportunity to make so many contacts, to know so many beautiful people, so many nice chat that I had. It was really that's one thing I will carry in my heart for the rest of my life. This hospitality and it's really I'm really happy for this opportunity because it makes up my mind to help to sail Uganda better. And the first thing I think, and that's one of the good things, that actually when most people, when they think about Uganda, that was my case, the first thing that comes to your mind is the gorillas. And this is because there's so few places you can see gorillas.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that, I think it's that is so wonderful when you make even local people understand that they can, if they preserve nature, if they preserve the gorillas, they make a lot of money out of it. It's a win-win situation. It's a win situation for people like me. That's you can. I mean, you stay 2 meters from a gorilla. It's amazing. For the gorilla, it's good because they are protected, and people around, they have business, and so this kind of stuff, this kind of tourism is very good because I think it's a win-win situation for everybody.
Exactly. You are a 4-time traveler to Uganda.
Yes.
And now this is your 4th time.
My 4th time, yeah.
What keeps you coming back to Uganda? Now that today it is this POATE has brought you, what on the other 3 times, what kept you bringing you back to Uganda?
I made a very good friend that sold me the first tour, and I think he's working in the organization too. It's James, and that's one thing I'm very happy to make new friends. And I think, you know, there's a saying that the same man doesn't take the same bath doesn't take the same bath in the same river twice. When you go into the river, you have changed, and the river have changed. So each time when you come back, you see things differently. So and
sorry,
as I'm a little bit. I didn't sleep so much these days too. So and so this one thing that you have in wildlife is you never know what you're gonna find. So for example, as I told you, the first time I came to see the gorillas, it was a wonderful spot. The second time it was not so good. So photography is a little bit addictive too. So you got addicted, you say, I need new, better pictures of gorillas, or from wildlife. And I was joking with James too, because I said, where is the blue sky from Uganda? You believe that the first three times I came, I didn't see this blue sky we have now. So maybe it was the time of the year, but so it's every time you come back, it's very different, and you are different. Your perception is completely different. So I think Uganda is a place that doesn't make you tired, because you always find out new thing and culture the culture, you learn more. So the next time when you come, you did learn a little bit more. So that brings me back not only to Uganda and to other African countries too, because you can see the culture is so different and so wide. And for example, this event too, you see the different dances and the clothes
The
are very
attire,
different from different places.
I think I like the aspect of every time you come back, you see something different. For example, we have 56 recognized tribes by constitution, but then we have other tribes, very many that are not named, recognized. If you go to Karamoja, we have the Ik people. Like there are really very many, and having that diversity in culture gives us diversity in food, diversity in way of living, diversity in clothes, and diversity in dances, like you say.
Yeah.
So, for example, when you go to Marches on Falls and you pass via Masindi and go all that side, you'll see different people, different way of living, different. So it's I think that aspect of every time you come back, you see something different. It's a powerful one.
Yes, and you know, I think that is also wonderful because even many African countries, you have so many different languages. And I think it was very bad for the world to try to put everybody together in globalism, because I think what's so wonderful in human beings is difference. If you are very different from me, so I can learn a lot from you, and you can learn a lot from me. So if you try to make all the same, and this is something that you preserve, like you said in Uganda, you preserve the tribes, you preserve the culture, and then that I think it's something very good, because if we forget, the world is very digital, and I always tell people, print your pictures. Don't only have it in an iPhone or on the computer, because if there is a blackout, there is a generation with no
Memories
past,
of you,
and no the culture. You lose a lot of culture, and I think this is something that's preserved here in Africa. You are very attached to the culture, because that is one thing that people want to see. For example, if you see one tribe that impressed me very much, was the Bushmen in the Kalahari. It's so amazing. For example, you never compare Bushmen with the tribes here. And for example, it was a funny story, because a Bushman, he never goes into the water if it's deeper than 10 centimeters. So I made a joke with I had a guide there, and I told him, if you go in the swimming pool, I pay you $200. I say no, 300, no, 1,000, no. So there's some stuff. And for example, in Namibia, we have a tribe. They only take baths with herbs and steam. They don't have water. So that is this kind of stuff, you know. And most people, they cannot imagine how you can be clean without water, and it's possible.
It's possible.
And so this kind of interaction and this kind of exchange makes us much richer. When you try to fight the difference, you got smaller. When you try to understand and come together, my photo book, it's called A Point of View, because I believe there is nothing, there's not something you call truth. It's only a point of view. That's the view of only one point. For example, if you look at something from this side, maybe you see something completely different. And sometimes people are fighting. You have the truth, because what you're seeing is real, and what I'm seeing is real.
Exactly.
But I cannot hear you. I'm gonna fight you instead of learning with you. That your point of view can teach me, and my point of view
can teach me.
And then we come together, and we went out of a conversation much richer then we started a conversation. And this is, I think it's so beautiful here that don't try to apply your mentality in other cultures. For example, there is a tribe, it's called the Mursi tribe. When the women are young, they put a little stick in the lips, and they make it bigger and bigger, and they put a disc in the lips. Even African people say, when they don't have the disc in, the lower lips are hanging down. And even people here say, "What's this?" And
also the Maasai do that in Kenya.
Yes. So people say, "But why?" I think, look, I don't like it too, but for them, as bigger as the disc, more prestige they have. So that's their culture. Why should I criticize them? They don't criticize me because I use this kind of clothes. You know, it's so. I think that's wonderful when you learn to understand that the difference is not a negative thing; it's a good thing, because the difference between people can make you learn. And what I always say, you know, I don't see any skin color anymore. I think it's so stupid that people are look at each other and they say the skin color or the different culture, or try to understand. And if you cannot understand, just accept it. That's enough. If you accept it, that's enough. You don't have to understand everything in life, you know.
Exactly. We don't have that avenue of us getting everything. We're not designed to that.
Yeah.
We're not designed to that.
And for example, Socrates said, as more I know that I know nothing. Because each time you got more knowledge, you can understand that your knowledge is so little.
Because you just have a portion of.
Yeah, you don't have, and people are so full of certainties, and say, where are you taking out the certainty? Because I have more doubts than certainties now.
I understand. Wow, I think this has been way a broader conversation than I even imagined myself.
Yeah, I'm a talker, you know.
You even didn't introduce yourself. You didn't say your name. You forgot that.
I forgot?
Yeah.
Because the name is only a detail. So, for example, if you remember something that I said, if you keep something, or if the people are watching, they keep something in the heart, the name is not so important. But my name is Rolf Muller.
Rolf Muller.
Yeah.
Miller.
But don't get so impressed. I think in what's the very common name in Uganda? Mojo.
The very common name. Now we have different tribes.
No, but for example, the last name. What's very common in Uganda?
Should I say Mukasa?
Semikasa. So I would be Rolf Semikasa, because there's so many Miller in Brazil, in Switzerland that in Brazil not, but in Switzerland yes.
So we can give you a Ugandan tradition name.
Okay.
So in our cultures, there are different cultures, and there are some cultures that name with the sound of how you born, which day. What was the weather like? Now in the eastern part, we have the Samia people. They may name you according to the situations that is there. When it is raining, they call you Wafula. Wafula meaning grain.
Okay.
When it is like the different names. Yeah. And then now in Uganda, we follow in Buganda, the Buganda culture. We're in the central. Here they name according to totems, and then the clans you fall to. Your father's clan, you come from there. So like my mother is Namaweje, because the father is from a clan of Mbogo clan. So he was called Sentamu.
Okay.
So I'll give you the name of Sentamu.
And what does it mean?
Sentamu is a Mbogo name. It's the strong people.
Strong people. Oh yeah.
Mbogo is a buffalo.
Okay.
You know, buffaloes are
Yeah.
very strong animals and
unpredictable.
yeah, and
So I
unpredictable.
came in this conversation because the buffalo give no sign if he attacks.
Exactly.
So I don't even, I almost didn't let you speak. So I'm but I think generally it's good because you have some people that you need to interview, and they say yes, no, yes, and yeah, a little bit. And
Exactly.
so I think it flows.
Yeah,
So
I've liked this conversation. I've liked it.
I'm happy
trust
that
me, I've liked it. And I think I'll ask your the last bit of it. On POATE, have you liked it the way it has been organized? How many expos have you attended so far?
actually, I'm a first comer. That's the first time.
The first time to attend POATE.
Yeah, and even an expo like this, that's all completely new.
New to
So
you.
as I told you, my horizon was rising a lot, and you know, I'm when I got this kind of opportunity, I try very hard to compensate the trust that people invested in me, and to bring back because it's an investment that you made.
Exactly.
So it was the first one, and I really,
I think when they are choosing hosted buyers, you people put in interest of wanting to come as a hosted buyer. They vet, and then they see, let's bring this one, let's bring this one, let's bring this one. And by the time they say, let's bring Miller, they have seen something, and they have seen the capability of you selling the destination out there. You know, even if it is your first time to attend an expo, maybe someone out there saw you that.
and one thing it's for sure that I will give back, that if I've got wonderful opportunities for pictures now in this trip, of course I give them away with all my love from my heart, that you can use it maybe for the next party to
showcase,
advertise,
to showcase what we have uniquely. So have you tested some local foods?
Yes, actually, something that a lot of people, they have a lot of preconception to. You know, it's not what's called, it's like a grasshopper.
Nsenene.
Huh?
Nsenene.
This when you have a field full of they attack in a huge group, and they eat everything.
Yes, we call them nsenene.
Senene.
Yes.
So the last time,
grasshoppers.
we were in downtown, and James, he did buy some of that. I said, "What's this? This is frightened semene."
Nsenene.
And I tried one. Very good. So I ate them by myself. But that's, for example, in Brazil, people have preconception. You ate insect? I'm open-minded, you know.
Here it's a delicacy.
Yeah, and it looks and tastes a lot like shrimps. You know shrimps?
I think
From in the sea, we have a lot of shrimps.
I've not.
But it's
gotten
very
chance to
similar.
test.
It's very similar.
Really?
So yeah, and the taste and the form is very similar. So I think it's really tasty. So that is one thing that's very special and never have eaten in another place. Last year in Zambia there was a larva with butterfly. I don't know, I don't remember how it's called. I tried it too. It's tasty too. So, but this in Uganda was the first time I have
grasshoppers. Nsenene. We call them nsenene.
Yeah,
it's a delicacy. We have seasons of them.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it.
When that season comes, everyone is up and down. They want to senene. They want to senene. It's
I would be in the queue to buy them.
Wow, that is this is amazing. This is amazing for you.
Probably you was expecting something different, maybe ugali or I don't know if you have ugali here.
Yeah, we have ugali.
But you know, it's generally ugali I don't like so much. I think it's not so much taste. But if you want ugali or grasshoppers? Grasshoppers.
So we have options now. You have options to choose from. I think you'll give your parting shots, your recommendations as you Miller. and then your maybe advice to any traveler out there who has another perception about Uganda, about Africa as a whole. And yes, we wrap it up.
One thing, a lot of people are afraid about malaria. And a lot of people, they don't know how it works. When you're out in the bush, the mosquito, the whole life it does 1 kilometer and 500 meters more or less. So it's something that people are too much scared about. And diseases too. So for example, in Rio we have dengue fever. And don't think about this stuff, because it's, I mean, as I told you, I don't know how many times I've been to Africa. So far I never had a problem with food. Only one time, but it was the fault of the cook, because he put a fish in a cooler for 5 days in Serengeti.
Oh,
And, wow. If they were lying around the tent, I went out and I was feeling so bad. I said, because you always have, because I did camping, so you have to look with the lamp if there's some animals around. So if they want to eat me because this fish is so. But the food is very good, so you don't have to be scared about it. I mean, as I told you, I don't have the truth. I have only one point of view. If you have preconception, win your preconception, come to Africa. If you like it, like me, you will come back many times. If you don't like it, maybe you think that I'm a liar, and I can live with this. But try to, what I would say, maybe an advice, that make exchange of money, because it's hard to use credit card. Some places it's you have
it's a hard to reach. You've gone outside of the city and all that.
Yeah, and depending on the place, there's some fraud too. So it's better to have money with you. What you can pay in advance, it's better. Choose somebody that offers you the tour, and come with the spirit to learn. Don't bring the European or the Asian or the Brazilian mentality. Come, feel the place. I'm sure you will learn so much things. You will. I know, because one thing, it's sometimes in Africa it's not everything comes out like planned. You have a lot of improvisation. I was joking. You know, there was the power was going out in Europe, and everybody, no power in Europe, and the world is going to end, and so. And I was thinking, and I was writing in my Instagram. You know, that's why I'm like to travel in Africa. If someday there's no light, life goes on. I mean, it's
it will come back.
TIA. This is Africa, and you know, so you don't care so much about stuff. And once I was in Serengeti, and the car was heating up, and I saw that they throw some herbs in the cooler. I said, what do they do? And then they throw the water, and it smelled like tea. I said, what did you put in the car? We put tea. Why? Because it stay in the ground, and it don't let the water out so fast, so we can go back to the camp. So we make it back to the camp. So this kind of stuff, a lot of improvisation, and Africans are very spiritual, and they sometimes, you know, you learn to not care so much about things. So if you come here, come with an open spirit, and it's really lovely, and try it. So like I did, take one grasshopper if you like it.
Keep taking more.
Yeah, and so if you don't like it, don't eat it
Leave it,
anymore.
yeah.
It won't kill you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Miller. And I think that's a wrap for this episode. It has been an amazing episode with Miller. And yes, it's conversations like this that really keep us moving and keep us really open-minded with our sector, with how we think about things in here, in Uganda and Africa as a general. And you've heard it from Miller himself. I've called him Semakula.
Semakula. I will remember this.
Yes. So, and that's a wrap. This has been Destination 256, your go-to destination for all things tourism in Uganda. We've dedicated all these episodes to the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo because we think it needs the vibe, it needs the platform it deserves, because this is us, this is Uganda, this is Africa. If not this, then what? Thank you for keeping it locked. Bye bye.
Thanks.